I think so. As a student, it is the bane, or it is your worst enemy, the bane of all your written work, and your teacher's weapon of mass editing. It is the dreaded red pen. However, the dreaded red pen is but a small part of the long process that some dread more than anything else. The process I'm referring to is, of course, the process of preparing for a speech. According to William Zinsser, a journalist, nonfiction writer, and teacher, it takes more than 3 weeks to prepare a good impromptu speech. As you can see, a speech is not something you can prepare at the last minute. Since no one wants to see their page covered with more red ink than black, today I will inspire some pre-planning tips, restructure your thoughts about organization, and finally recite some ways to prepare for your speech. Planning a speech is a lot like any other type of writing. When planning for a speech, you need to pay close attention to your purpose, topic, and audience. The first step is to determine your purpose. You can be informative, persuasive, give a demonstration, or give a speech for a special occasion, such as a wedding or graduation. In an informative speech, your main goal is obviously to inform. You need plenty of interesting facts, such as statistics, quotations, and sometimes anecdotes. A persuasive is similar to an informative, with the exception that it has opinion and that you are trying to persuade someone else's opinion to match yours. In a demonstration, you give a step-by-step process to show how something works. It relies on clear demonstration and explanation. The next thing you should do is choose a topic. The topic should be of something of interest to you. You should also have a general knowledge of the topic. When narrowing your topic, you should find a way to limit the time period where the event happened and or a specific group or people that it happened to. You should also consider your audience. According to a pocket guide to public speaking, when analyzing an audience, you should analyze their knowledge of the subject, their feelings toward you and your topic, and your audience demographics, such as age and gender. After you finish your basic planning, then begins the main course of your speech preparation process. When you begin organizing, you need to find your strongest supporting facts and organize them in a logical and appropriate order. The first step in this is generating ideas. The first place you should look is from your own general knowledge. But when you run into writer's block, you may need some inspiration. Good places to go to get rid of writer's block, you need to do some research, either on the internet, library, or from people you know, such as your professor or teacher. Once you generate some ideas, you then need to organize them into a logical pattern. When choosing a suitable pattern, you should choose a pattern that fits your information, not information that fits your pattern. You should start with a general opening, middle, and closing. You should then break it down into supporting facts and, if need be, more details. The final step of the speech preparation process is a part that many fear far more than the dreaded red pen. However, with adequate preparation, this daunting task of performing a speech can become much easier. You can begin by learning your speech. You need to read and reread it, and then read it again. You can practice in front of a mirror or family members, and if need be, you can even record it and then listen to yourself in the recording. The goal of this impromptu speech is not to memorize the speech, as it will become mechanical, and it will sound mechanical and uninteresting. According to SpeechTips.com, there are a few golden rules when it comes to visual aids. One is keep it simple. Since we as people are more visual than we are auditory learners, it is best to keep your visual aids simple to not distract from the speaker. Also, don't over-rely. Be prepared for the inevitable failure that the more complex your visual aid gets, the more likely it is that your speech will fail if you depend on it too much. When presenting, there is a certain amount of style that is required. You need to speak clearly, but don't shout for the sake of being loud. Nervousness can often cause you to speak faster, so take your time. Gesture effectively, don't fidget or make other nervous gestures. Even the most experienced speakers often feel jittery before giving a speech. Today, I've talked to you about some tips to get your pre-planning done, restructured your understanding of the organization and planning of a speech, and finally recited some ways to get your speech presentation in tip-top shape. In conclusion, if you are willing to put the time in and are willing to follow the steps I've given you today, then there should hopefully be less of the dreaded red pen on your next assignment.